I understand the concern that there are a few judges who are not pulling their weight. And frankly, they don't deserve a raise. I agree. But I'm not asking you to give this or that person a raise. That's not the way to think about this. I'm asking you to raise the stature and the appeal of these offices, which encourages more good people to apply for them. But I won't deny that there are a few judges who may not be working as hard as the job demands. And I have no tolerance for that. I'm proud of the vast majority of my fellow judges who work hard every day delivering justice for your constituents. But I have no patience for the small minority who don't. Article 5, Section 31 of the Constitution makes the Supreme Court responsible for the efficient administration of the judicial branch. And using that authority, as well as authority you've given us, we're gathering data to help us identify problem judges. We don't want to use statistical metrics like case clearance rates as blunt instruments because they don't tell the whole story. But they are very useful tools. And I believe current law provides all the tools we need to identify the problems and to deal with them. And this Supreme Court intends to do that with the help of the regional presiding judges and others. We don't need to burden all the good judges across our state with extra paperwork mandated by the legislature. We don't need to do that in order to find out where the problems are. We can find the problems, and we intend to do so. And when we find a serious problem, we can put the judge on notice that his performance is unacceptable. And if he can't turn it around, the Constitution says there are things we can do about it. Article 15, Section 8 allows the legislature, on the governor's recommendation, to remove a judge for several reasons, including willful neglect of duty and incompetence. Article 15, Section 6 allows the Supreme Court, on the petition of lawyers, to remove a district judge who, quote, negligently fails to perform his duties as judge, or who shall fail to execute in a reasonable measure the business in his court. These provisions allow us to do something about these problems. And they show us that the framers of our Constitution knew that judges have to be capable, qualified people who can manage a courtroom. The framers also knew that elections might occasionally give us people who aren't up for it. And their answer wasn't tough luck, vote them out in 4 years. No, they gave us tools to fix these problems in the very rare cases where they arise. And if we forget about these tools, or we don't use them because we think it will be too difficult, or it might make us look bad, then we're not allowing our Constitution to operate the way it was designed. Instead of holding down the salaries of 98% of judges because 2% of them aren't doing their job, we should use the power the Constitution gives us to make the 2% find another job. And we should pay all our judges a salary that is commensurate with the extraordinary responsibility that our Constitution asks them to bear. I've spoken enough about the legislature's obligation to the courts.